Well, welcome everyone to the first Club Sports Council meeting of 2021. I would like to say that I hope 2021 is off to a good start for everyone, but the last week has been batshit crazy. So I hope that everyone's doing okay. And if you need anything from me, please let me know, even if it's not club sports related. I'm here for you. Let's go ahead and have Christian kick us off, and we'll go around and say what we've been up to. And I think he's got a great icebreaker for us tonight. Go ahead, Christian.
Hello, everyone. Just like Sarah said, welcome to our first Club Sports Council meeting of 2021. It's obviously not what we envisioned it to be, but we're making the best of the situation that we have. And if you're new to these meetings, what we like to do is we like to start off all of these with sort of a pass around icebreaker, get everybody contributing, everyone acting up for the meeting itself, and then we'll get right back into business. So obviously, when you're here, just tell us what club you're with, any updates that you have with the club. And then the icebreaker that I chose today is, if you could have dinner with one celebrity, dead or alive, who would you pick and why? And I'll just be asking people to participate. So I'm just going to go along the order that I see them on my screen. So we're starting with Andrew.
Hello, I'm Andrew. I'm with Swim Club. I'm the vice president. And some team updates. We're working on getting a couple shirt orders in. We're refilling our green shirts, and we just submitted a new white shirt design. And besides that, not a whole lot been happening. And if I could have dinner with one celebrity, it would be Dave Chappelle.
Awesome. Next up, we have, is it Kaye? It's you, Kaye, K-U?
It's Kahe.
Kaye.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm here representing the Women's Rugby Club. In terms of what we've been up to, same kind of system as last quarter. We have these like house pods, and then so the coach is sending us workouts, and we're just trying to get those in and staying fit and winning the weight, as we like to say. So that's been starting up. I assume we'll also have kind of like Zoom social stuff, kind of what we did last quarter too. If I could have dinner with any celebrity, or I guess, yeah, celebrity, I don't know, maybe like Barack Obama or something like that.
I like that one. Thank you. Next up, we have Jack Cullen.
Hi, everyone. I'm with Club Baseball. An update with us is we're just trying to play it by ear, see when we're able to practice, have tryouts and everything. We've been looking into ordering team uniforms and hats and stuff, trying to do the most we can with the current situation we have. And if I could have dinner with any celebrity, I would pick Jim Carrey, just because I think he's such an interesting human.
You're not wrong there. Just watch any of his movies and you can see that. Thank you. Next up, we have Tanner Collins.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Tanner. I'm with Club Lacrosse. Christian, I'm sure if you want to touch on any of the updates with lacrosse, you can do so.
Coming soon.
There we go.
Sponsor meeting in the next few days to discuss how winter's going to look.
Right on. And if I could have dinner with any celebrity, it would be Morgan Wallen.
I like that one. All of these have been good so far. Next up, we have Eliana.
Hi, my name's Eliana. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm from Club Field Hockey. This is my first time attending one of these meetings. Cheers. We've been doing a couple just like virtual game nights, playing Among Us, the works. We're excited to one day be able to play field hockey again. But until then, virtual games are fun. And I would have dinner with Kate McKinnon because I'm obsessed with her in SNL.
Great, honestly, great way to keep positive in the situation that we are. I'm sure that everyone could take notes and keep doing the same thing. Next up, we have Cormac.
Hey, how's it going? I'm the men's volleyball president. We don't really have a whole lot going on right now. We're just kind of waiting for the county to get back into the red tier so we can hopefully start practicing on campus again. And then probably the celebrity I'd have dinner with would be Stephen Colbert.
Awesome. Love it. Cooper, my man, you're up next.
Hi everyone, I'm Cooper with tennis and some updates for our team. We just finished our fantasy football team, or our league rather. So that was a lot of fun. Got a lot of people engaged in that. And then other than that, we're also kind of just playing it by ear, seeing what happens when we would get into purple tier or no, red tier. And finally, if I were to eat dinner with one celebrity, I would choose Adam Sandler.
That's a classic. James Purdue, you're up next.
Hi, I'm James. It's my first time in one of these meetings, and I'm here with men's rugby. Like Kahe said, we've just been doing the house workout pods. But if I had to have a meal with somebody, it would probably be Steven Spielberg.
Awesome. All of these have been unique, and I love all of them so far. Next up, we have Sydney.
Hi, everyone. I'm here representing women's water polo. Not too many updates. I know that just some of us have been getting in small groups and like going to the rec and swimming, so that's been good. If I could have dinner with any celebrity, it would probably be Miley Cyrus because she's awesome and her new album is great if you haven't listened to it yet.
I'll be sure to give it a listen. Lindsay, you're up next.
Hey, I'm Lindsay. I'm with Eliana for field hockey, so she already got that update. And I'm sorry, I would have to choose Taylor Swift. Like,
hey, nobody's gonna judge you. I love the choice as well. Emily, we're up next.
Hi, sorry, I'm on campus in the UU and it's really loud, so I hope you guys can hear me. So I'm Emily, I'm the president of the Women's Ultimate Frisbee team. We're trying to do some online practices, some social stuff, some little pods. We've been putting out workouts for people to do with their households. And we've been participating in a couple of virtual tournaments with other teams that are being used as fundraisers for social justice organizations, so that's been great. And then celebrity that I would have dinner with right now would probably be Trevor Noah.
I love it. Lee, we're up next.
Hi, my name is Lee Conway. I'm here from Cal Poly Ballroom Dance. We are currently working on getting some virtual lessons up again, and also just kind of extracurricularly trying to like create that community and make sure that people in the club are still hanging out with each other and being all friendly, but not too friendly because it's COVID. Yeah, as for a celebrity dinner, I'd probably have to go with Jocko Willink. He's this like jacked ex-Navy SEAL, and he's got some very inspiring stuff on YouTube.
I love these answers so far, everyone. Allison, we're up next.
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm with Women's Club Basketball, and we just had a Zoom interest meeting a couple weeks ago, and it went pretty well. But so we just have everyone's emails. So hopefully, when we can start putting things together, we can reach out to everyone. And if I could have dinner with anyone, it would probably be Jane Goodall.
I love these, everyone. Spencer, come on up.
Hey guys, I'm Spencer from men's soccer. Not too many updates. Everything's just virtual right now. So nothing too new, but if I could have dinner with a celebrity, I'd probably pick Robin Williams.
R.I.P. to the great Robin Williams. Serena, you're up next.
Hello, I'm president from Badminton Club, and recently we had kind of a get to know each other event with coffee shuffles, basically just one-on-one with each other, trying to get to know everyone a little bit more. And if I were to eat with a celebrity, honestly, I wouldn't mind eating with a cat celebrity, Maru.
I love it, everyone. Keep them up. I'm surprised nobody said the same one yet. So hope maybe we'll get around to that. Jordan, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jordan, the VP of Archery. So club updates, we've been actually just doing some hanging out, reforms with the management so that we are the most prepared for hopefully being in club sports this year. Actually, it's easy to talk with our officers because we all live in the same house. So that's great. If I had to eat dinner with a famous person, I think it'd have to be Teddy Roosevelt, along the same lines of, Night at the Museum with Robin Williams as his, as his actor. So.
No, it's a great one. That's the first historical figure from a long time that we've got today. So I like that. Jack Kelly, you're up next.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Jack. I'm from sailing. We've been mostly on standby, waiting to get back out on the water, but we've been creative in finding new games to play virtually. We've been having meetings, trucking on, and my celebrity dinner would be with Bill Murray because he's a bit of a living legend. I'm sure he would have some pretty interesting stories to tell.
No, I'm positive he would. William, you're up next.
Hey everyone, Will Fuchs from Distance. Let's see, we've been having this ongoing running mileage challenge with a lot of different mini challenges each week. So last week was oh man, blanking on last week. This week's the distance medley relay. So you have to get into teams and virtually run a relay. So who's the fastest. And then we've got some meets coming up with Virginia Tech and Purdue, I think. And then we're getting some new shirts ordered, which is pretty exciting. And let's see, if I had to pick a celebrity, I think David Attenborough. I think that'd be super fun.
I love his narrations. His voice is just mesmerizing. Jackson, you're up next.
Hi guys, I'm Jackson. I'm president of Fencing Club. We didn't do anything last week. We're just starting to kind of come online for winter quarter. So we're having a Zoom hangout as kind of our starter social event, and then we're going to hold an officer meeting to figure out how elections work for our club this quarter. So that's the update. And if I were to choose a celebrity to have dinner with, I would choose Albert Einstein.
That's an interesting one. I like that pick though. Kate, you're up next.
Hey, what's up? I'm Kate from Water Ski. Updates. We just ordered some cool ponch towels. So those are pretty sick. And then same online stuff, haven't been able to get out. And if I could get dinner with anybody, it'd probably be Jimmy Chin, like the photographer climber.
I'm still surprised nobody's picked the same one yet. So let's see if everyone gets a different one until all the way through. Jonah, you're up next.
Hey guys, my name is Jonah. I'm here on campus as well. Been working in the coronavirus screening lab since 8 this morning, so I might be a little delusional. But I am from cycling club, and we've had a couple things going on. We're getting our club t-shirts, should be coming next week. We're starting up a Patagonia order, as well as a order from our jersey sponsors this quarter. And then we have our usual monthly challenges that are going on all online. So lots going on. And if I had to pick anyone to eat dinner with, it would be Andre the Giant, of course.
I like that. That's a very unique one. After Jonah, we have Melissa.
Hi, I'm with Women's Club Volleyball, and we haven't really been doing much, but I think we're looking forward to this quarter, having some Zoom calls and talking to girls that are potentially interested in the club. And then I would pick Liam Hensworth.
Dreamy. Maya, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm from Cal Poly Triathlon, and our team this quarter is doing a lot of virtual meetings. We have Strava challenges, and then we also have apparel coming in soon, hopefully. And then if I could have dinner with anyone, it'd probably be Michael Phelps because he's pretty cool.
I agree. I think Michael Phelps is pretty cool also. Okay, after Melissa, we have Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm also from Archery. I guess Jordan did our updates.
Hi.
There he is. If I was to eat dinner with a celebrity, it would be Mr. Rogers.
Have you seen the recent movie that came out with Mr. Rogers?
I have not.
I would highly recommend watching it. After Kevin, we have Jack. Jack, or did I already get Jack? All right, then if Jack
Not
is
about me. I think you already got me.
then Layla is up next.
I'm here for women's lacrosse. We are putting together a gear package that'll be optional, so members can pay for that. And then we're also putting together a virtual alumni weekend, which we're super stoked about. And I would choose Danny DeVito because that would be super interesting.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is one of my favorite shows of all time. So I like that answer. Dustin, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dustin. I'm here with men's water polo. Not too many updates, just kind of playing it by ear, hoping to get back into the pool as soon as possible. If I were to go to dinner with any celebrity, I think I'd choose Dana White. I think that dude's a beast.
I also love watching the UFC, so Dana White's up there on my list. Joe, you're up next.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe from Roller Hockey Club. If no updates for us, and if I were to go to dinner with a celebrity, I'd choose Alex Honnold.
That sounds like a pretty boring conversation that you'd have with that man. But, and last but certainly not least, we have Callie.
Hello, I'm from Distance Club. Will said he already gave an update, and a celebrity I'd like to have dinner with is.
Could you mind repeating that one more time? You kind of cut out there, for me at least. Callie?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm Callie. I'm from Distance Club. Will said that he already gave an update, and my celebrity would be Lizzo.
I like that. I'm very surprised nobody had the same celebrity going through this entire lineup. If I were to have dinner with any celebrity, I would choose Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, just because he's a personal hero of mine. Let me pass it off to the council and Sarah to answer that question as well. You guys can take it away.
Okay, I had an answer that I was going to give, but then Christian threw shade at Alex Honnold, who I find endearingly fascinating because he's got an autistic brain like mine. And then we had someone pick Jimmy Chin. I think it was Kate, and I love him too. I've got the Jimmy Chin limited edition razor. I don't care if it's for men, it works. And so in that realm, I'm gonna have to go with Conrad Anker. If you've seen Meru with Jimmy Chin in it, he's a climbing rock star and a superhero and just an all-around nice guy. And so yeah, I would pick Conrad Anker. Let's see, next up we'll have Bella, and then she'll share some PR updates.
Hi guys, my name is Bella. I'm your PR chair. If I were to have dinner with a celebrity, I would probably pick John Mulaney. And then PR updates. So last week our team of the week was Cal Poly Sailing, and this week is Cal Poly Water Ski. Just a reminder that if you want to be considered for team of the week, make sure you're updating your social media, tag us at CP Club Sports so we see it, and we will definitely consider you.
Awesome, thanks Bella. Say who your celebrity was again, because you said it and then it went through my ears.
I said John Mulaney, the stand-up comedian.
Yes, I love him. So many choices from the SNL and like talk show, satire, political genius genre. So I like it. You all are a bunch of smart people. To whoever it was that picked Stephen Colbert, I actually stalked him through town the other day. He was driving this red sports car with Colbert as his license plate frame. And I turned off the freeway actually to start following him to see where he goes, where he went, but he turned on a residential street and that seemed a little too stalkerish. So I stopped stalking him, but apparently he was in slow for something. Anyway, well, thanks for the updates. Congratulations to sailing last week and water ski this week. If you want to find out why we picked water ski, make sure you read tomorrow's Club Sports newsletter. And now I'll throw it to Ava for some operations updates. Sorry, I'm having mouse troubles today. So there we go.
Hi guys, so if I had to have dinner with anyone, I'd choose Queen Elizabeth
because she's a beast. And then the gold stars this week are the tri-tip challenge. You just have to climb one. You don't do the whole thing because that's really hard and it's going to be really hot this weekend, but we want you to get outside. So take a picture and tag our Instagram and just send it in. Also, Cal Poly is hosting a virtual event honoring MLK. So if you'd like to attend that, you can earn gold stars for the team. Both challenges will be explained in more detail in our newsletter. So make sure you check that out tomorrow. And of course, you can always earn stars through community service, fundraising, and donations. And if you need any help, thinking of ideas for that stuff, then reach out and we're more than happy to help you guys. And then another thing not on the slides is regarding the design contest from last quarter. I'm in contact with a supplier right now, and the designs will hopefully be approved by Cal Poly Licensing so we can make some apparel. Keep an eye out on updates, and hopefully we'll have some cool gear for you guys soon. Thanks.
Awesome, but you're not done yet, Ava. Why don't you walk us through the Gold Stars leaderboard? Let us know who's got all the stars.
All right, yeah, so Women's Ultimate is killing it right now with 15 gold stars. So obviously they're in the lead, but hopefully we can get a little bit more on the board here. These new challenges, we're gonna come up with some fun ones this quarter. And I'd like to hear your guys' input too. So if you have any ideas, we want you to participate. So keep up the good work.
Yeah, I just want to really call out Women's Ultimate, some silent snaps from all of you from them. They not only maxed out the number of gold stars that they could get in 10 last quarter, we're only a week and a half into week 2, and they've already got 5 more stars for this quarter. So way to go, Women's Ultimate. But everyone, it's been really fun to see all of your Gold Star Challenge submissions. And those of you that are doing service hours, I'm so humbled by you and your giving spirits. So keep it up. It's a great way to get credit through those service hours. And then if your team's already doing, fundraising and stuff, we'll make sure to add that for you. Okay, we've got a quick update from finance, and then we'll have our first guest speaker. So Annie, tell us about your celebrity dinner and give us an update on our finances, please.
Yeah, I would have dinner with Guy Fieri. I love Food Network, and I think that would just be really fun. And then for the finance update, I know last meeting I talked about that we went to the board of directors and we asked about getting a part of that 50% that they held in reserve based on the budgets that all of the teams had sent us. And they're actually voting on that this coming Tuesday. So next meeting, I'll be able to give everybody kind of an update about that. But other than that, our budget has not really been changing much. We have a current balance of about $25,000. Our council fund balance is $27,000. So we have a total available funds of around $52,000. And if anybody has questions about how I got those numbers, they can ask now or message me in the chat. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Annie. Christian, why don't you lead us into our next section?
So upcoming, we have 2 presentations. We have one by the Safer organization here at Cal Poly. And then we have the Archery giving us a presentation. For those of you who don't know, around this time last year, Archery came to the Club Sports Council to ask to join and become part of it. They have now reached their year mark of their probationary period, and it is going to be up to us as a council after they give their presentation and we underlay some facts, whether or not we vote them in. So I'd like to hand it off to Jack giving the Safer presentation.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here today. My name's Jack. My pronouns are he, him, and his. And I am a prevention education intern with Safer. So today, I just want to, go over a quick preview of what we do at Safer, who we are, what our goal is. I want to talk about how you can get involved in the movement, and schedule a presentation or workshop or event for your club or organization or team. And then I want to finally end with some resources that we have on campus and in the country. So as many of you probably already know, Safer is Cal Poly's primary confidential resource addressing gender and power-based violence, issues such as sexual assault, dating and domestic violence, sex trafficking, sexual harassment, stalking, and more. And so within SAFER, you can go to the next slide. Within SAFER, we have two main branches, the Prevention Education branch and the Confidential Advocacy branch. Within the former, we're really centered around the belief that violence is preventable. And we know that everyone has a role in preventing violence in our society. And if everyone collectively comes together in that goal, we believe there's a future where violence is not the norm. And so in the meantime, what we do to work toward that is offer individualized presentations and workshops, such as this one. We provide prevention consultations for clubs and organizations, road training, peer-to-peer education. We offer the SAFER leadership training quarterly if you want to learn more and become equipped with knowledge about gender and power-based violence. And then we have engagement opportunities within SAFER, paid student positions, internships, and volunteer opportunities. So within the Confidential Advocacy branch, which is a separate part of SAFER, we offer emotional support and crisis intervention for survivors, safety planning on campus, campus accommodations and accompaniment to Title IX, law enforcement, legal and medical appointments, and other campus and community referrals. We've been operating remotely since March 2020, so we've developed some online scheduling tools that you can use to access our services. And as I don't know if everyone can see, but there's a QR code in the bottom right of every slide throughout the presentation that you can feel free to scan. It'll direct you to our website and contact information. Other than that, you can call the number listed there to get into touch with anyone in SAFER. Okay, so now I just really want to shortly talk about how you can get involved. And when we're thinking about preventing violence, we don't always think about the small things that we can do every single day that contribute to a healthier society. And so just some ideas here in the first bullet point. You can follow us on social media, and we have a lot of great resources coming out this month as it's Stalking Awareness Month. And so we have a lot of great educational material about that on our social media. You can make sure to practice pro-social behaviors in your friendships and your relationships. Boundary setting, communication, things like that are really important to creating a healthy and safe society. Showing your public support for survivors, attending SAFER events, and inviting SAFER to present at your clubs and organizations, which you're on it. So if you're really into it and that really inspires you, you can take the SAFER leadership training and learn more about this issue. As I was saying earlier, you can consult with us on projects. We're really great at helping out with senior projects if you want to incorporate, a focus on gender and power-based violence. And you can really be intentional about facilitating dialogue with people around you and in your social circle. Do your own research, read books, listen to podcasts, watch documentaries. This all builds your repertoire and helping to fight against violence. And then finally, you can strive to become a leader in the movement. And there's so many different ways that you can affect change and become a leader in preventing violence. You can apply to work with SAFER as an intern or student assistant, become a California certified confidential crisis advocate. It's a lot. So there's so many different things that you can do. I'm not going to go through and read all of that, but yeah, the point is that if you want to find out more about how you can join the movement and make a difference, you can go to this link in gold at the bottom of the screen and you can read all about it. Okay, so with that, I wanted to just quickly inform you about how you can set up a SAFER presentation or workshop for your team. And so it's pretty easy. You just go to our SAFER website, and then under the services tab and the prevention education section, you'll find a link that says request a workshop. And when you click on that, it'll direct you to a page where you'll have a form that you can fill out specifying what you need, what you're looking for, what topics you want to explore. And this is really important because we really want to tailor the projects and the presentations to what the community needs, and we want to be responsive to that. So if you have any questions about that process, feel free to ask, and I'm going to leave my contact information at the end. So if you need anything like that. And so now I just really wanted to, share some general contacts that we have on campus, particularly in SAFER. And so we have Jennifer McMartin. She's amazing. She's our prevention specialist. All these people are amazing. But we have Ashley Hernandez, our project coordinator within prevention. And then Gillian Cutshaw, she's one of our 2 campus advocates. The other is Sarah Wilson, but I think her contact information is now on the website. And then we have Kara, who's our assistant director of well-being. And so, yeah, more than that, on the next slide, there will be more resources on different levels. So we have on-campus resources, off-campus, and national resources. And so on campus, we have SAFER, and I talked about that. Counseling services is a great resource, Title IX office, and Cal Poly Police. Off campus, we have RISE, which is an organization that focuses on sexual assault and domestic violence. Then we have Stand Strong, which is domestic violence, intimate partner violence. We have also the San Luis Obispo Police. And then on the national level, we have the Sexual Assault Hotline, which also seems to have an online chat feature available, which is cool, as does the Domestic Violence Hotline. And then the Crisis Text Line. And you'll notice that all the resources with little asterisks next to them are confidential resources. So yeah. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask or email me or any of the contacts. And I assume you'll be getting a copy of this presentation, so all the resources and contacts will be with you. Yeah, and thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you so much, Jack. The SAFE organization and a lot of other organizations that you guys align yourself with and sponsor, very great, and they're a service that if anybody needs it, feel free to reach out. No reason for anyone to feel like they can't talk to somebody about something. And following that presentation, we have the representatives from the Cal Poly Archery Club that are here with us today, about to give their presentation as they end their probationary period with the council.
We were just going to let Sarah get to her. Okay, good. We've gotten to the slides just in time. Perfect. I can understand the frustration of just having to click present and just like run through all of your like 20 odd slides to get to ours.
Especially when your mouse just decides to stop working randomly right when you need it.
Oh yeah, exactly. You gotta have the backup. But thank you. Thanks you, Christian. So hi everyone. Thanks for being here today. So as you've heard from the beginning of the meeting, I'm Jordan Tom, the VP of Archery Club here at Cal Poly. So my fellow officers are listed here, and the only other one that's here may also introduce themselves if they so please.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm also one of the officers. I'm the treasurer for this, and this will be a fun presentation. We get to tell you guys about archery.
Yeah, and a lot of coordination with the microphones because, well, we're in the same room. We're roommates. But aside from that, I think we want to just kind of jump into the first slide and first address what club sports means to our archery team. So as I'm sure it does with most, if not all of the teams on the roster, I think being a club sport is a notable title. So the council, along with ASI, just recognizes that sports and the group are considered collegiate. So to have us be called a collegiate archery team would be monumental in that we can finally be able to compete in like a formal setting with other college teams, like the teams at Berkeley, Davis, San Diego, Santa Barbara, just to name a few. So in essence, this would put us in the category suitable for our level of eventual competitive nature. As of now, we've endeavored to look at tournaments and just local competitions in SLO and even as far as Los Olivos, which is, I don't know, half an hour outside Santa Barbara. So we've kind of been getting that outreach that way. This is all before COVID, of course, but um, we did try. We did try our best. And yeah, one of the great things that I've noticed about being a club sport, hopefully, is that they're always featured on like the Cal Poly Sports website. So I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty cool when like you see your team or like even your picture just like kind of up on the site page. Um, it at least it's cool until you're like your mom and dad start showing like all of their friends like on the family computer. Then it gets a bit embarrassing. Secondly, we would gain more publicity to then grow our club into a team that will last and an organization that we're proud of. So when I came to Cal Poly, I had the impression that club sports would be more organized, thought through, and just larger than recreational teams and groups. So I found that to be true, just time and again, whichever club sport that you look at. And I believe that being a club sport will bring us that stability, that lasting presence that will not only keep us going, but also help us thrive in an environment of similar sports. So the last point I'd like to mention on this slide is the funding. So though it may not be much, all of the delegations that club sports ASI might put out towards funding each and every group, as it is for many of the teams, archery could always use the funding for adequately supplying our teams and members with proper training, equipment, and supplies. So, bows are expensive, so are arrows, and hopefully we can start paying our coach, even though he does it for free at first. Again, not only would we be able to gather these materials and maintain them as well, as you'll see in later slides, we would also be more empowered to then get our own space at our off-site training facility, which is like right down Highway 1 heading towards Morro Bay. So that we could get a shed for all of our bows, all of our equipment that would say Cal Poly Archery. As of now, we don't have like a dedicated area to put our stuff. We just kind of lump it all with the facilities. That's not a problem, but making this happen and giving us a name outside of campus would mean a world of change for us. So this next brings me to the state of our club, which I'd like to mention was quite stable and strong before the pandemic. We love to go and practice for I don't know, about 3 hours per meeting, which is like Saturdays or Sundays, and have occasional socials and luncheons after almost every practice session, just to bond with our members. So unfortunately, those facilities have been closed. Blaze Pizza doesn't accept dine-in and rowdy college students right now. So we've been trying to make up for that by both hosting some Zoom study events. I think someone mentioned before, like Among Us play sessions just with the club, and we've also been kind of just like trying to readjust our whole club to be more fitted for club sports throughout this whole time. So, I mean, as I said, most of our meeting time was dedicated to practices, but now that we have a lot of free time on our hands, our officer team has been planning throughout our downtime to better manage the sport and its time. So firstly, we've created a sort of break in practice, a theoretical break in our practice, so that we can discuss different topics, like after the pandemic. So we would just like call a stop, for us to have like a physical break and a mental break just to talk about different things, maybe discuss how we can get more gold stars, go to community service opportunities and just better bond with the community around us. We also have made the effort to expand our connections by partnering with USA Archery. As it is with ASI, we need to be affiliated with the national organization for a sport. And hopefully we've done the proper paperwork and planning that Sarah has requested for us during this probationary period. In fact, with USA Archery, we've gone so far as to have a few of our members be trained to be nationally recognized coaches or instructors, myself included. This way, we can have a bit more leverage when it comes to participant trustworthiness in our skill and competence. So, though operations may be currently postponed due to the global situation, we still have the opportunity to plan for the future when it comes to competitions and keeping our members connected to the world of archery. And the final point of this presentation is something that's been quite personal and dear to me, as well as my fellow officers. Some of them couldn't make it tonight since they're working, but I will share our combined feelings. So for almost 4 years now, I've wanted our archery team to be something bigger. As a sophomore, my first inquiries towards becoming a club sport directed me towards ASI. So I, as a simple member at the time, I couldn't really do anything except wait and, hopefully hold a position of leadership in the club. So in the following years, I worked with officers, I became an officer, and finally the president, and worked with other officers who soon became my close friends, who are some of them now my roommates. All of us sharing the collective desire to make something amazing out of the sport of archery here at Cal Poly. And it showed. Time and again, we've busted our butts to set up for club showcase or open house. Just garnering the attention of all the people who just kind of swarm by, kind of interested in either the small little suction cup bow and arrow game that we have, or maybe it was just my dog. But either way, we've elected him to be our team mascot. So we would get archery in there somewhere. I think we all lost our voices a couple of years ago from just doing our little song and dance, and we got over 400 people's names on our email list. So we went out of our way to develop our club through just out-of-pocket purchases in the form of bows and arrows, other equipment that we could use for either supplying our team or making raffle prizes, knowing fully well that we might not get that money back in a time that we'd like, at least. Heck, we even bought up a pop-up tent to beat the heat in club showcase and whatnot. So there's that. But I think there's one thing that we hope for 100% that we get back, and I think that would be we'd get a club worth fighting for, and a sport that would continue past our time here. So I hope this presentation has made our case to be in the Club Sports Council. As you can see, we do have a beautiful outdoor facility and awesome members in the next slides. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Jordan, for giving that presentation. Once these slides have come to an end, here's a little bit of the stats that Archery has conducted while they were on their probationary period. From the time that they entered the probationary period until now, we had 8 meetings and they had attended 5 of them. Their total budget comes out to be around $2,000. Gold stars, fundraising, event attendance, and service hours all amount to be 0. Their coach, who Jordan just mentioned, had been doing it for free for a while, but they did not have any coaching fees. They did have a governing body dues to be a part of the U.S. National Archery. Individual dues per person would be about $55. Their roster size currently is 31. They are an off-campus practice organization. You just saw it, where their facilities are. Their 2020 to 2021 allocation would have been $1,000, and the average share would decrease from $94 or about $95 to about $92. And I can hand it over to Sarah from here.
Are you sure about that? Little glitch in the matrix there. Sorry, everyone. Thank you, Jordan, for sharing that information and those great pictures. Looks like a lot of fun, beautiful sunny day like we have in SLO. I just wanted to go over the stats just a little bit more to explain what you're looking at if you're not too familiar with the club sports allocation rubric. So these are the different categories that teams are rated in or ranked in to earn points for the next year. So the number in parentheses is how many points they earn for that category, and it's a range of 0 to 4 points depending on where they fall. For more information on this, you can look at the club sports homepage if you have questions, or you can ask me, but that's what the number in parentheses is. The slash here is for 1920 and 2021. So the first number represents any stars that they might have earned in winter or spring of 2020, and then the second number would have been fall of 2020. And then I think Christian went over all the rest. This roster size was based on last year, because I'm not going to look at your roster sizes from this year with the pandemic. I know they're not what they normally are. And then I thought this point was important, that if they had been a full member this year, what they would have earned for those points would have been $1,000. And so the average share price that each team would have been allocated would have decreased by this amount if their numbers have been added into the mix. Before we take this to a vote, does anyone have any questions? You can direct them either to Jordan, Kevin, Christian, or myself. And feel free to just unmute yourself if you have any questions. I learned this week that you're supposed to, just like with hand washing, you're supposed to sing happy birthday to yourself while you wait for people to ask questions. Well, without hearing or seeing anyone, we'll go ahead and open the vote. Some of you have multiple people here from your team, so I want to make sure to point out that only one vote per team will be accepted. So if you're here with teammates, make sure you know who's going to be voting. For rugby, that includes you all as well, that you just have one vote for your team, because men's and women's are technically the same club. And so I'll go ahead and open the poll. And it's just a simple yes, no majority vote. Please vote either yes, that you would like to add archery as a full member, or no, that you would not like to add archery as a full member.
Sarah, I actually do have a question.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Because I am here as part of the council and also part of men's lacrosse, is my vote and Tanner's vote going to account for the same thing, or are they separate votes?
Council members wouldn't get a vote, so just Tanner's vote. Or you can vote for men's lacrosse and not Tanner.
Got it.
And then, sorry, someone else had a question too.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Oh, it's me, Kevin. When as a person vote on this, right? Because the poll does pop up for us too.
Correct. Yes. Sorry. Thanks for that clarification.
Okay.
Yeah, as a probationary member, you don't have a vote yet. Great. We've got about 70% of the votes in, so make sure your team has voted. We have 24 teams here, so I think I'm waiting for one more. Okay, that should do it. Well, I would say that this is a provisional result that needs to be verified, but this is not the U.S. Senate or the U.S. House of Representatives, and that looks like a pretty solid majority vote. So congratulations to Archery. You are the newest member to the Club Sports Council in several years. So we look forward to having you and bringing you fully on board. And now I really get to enforce the rules with you. So yeah, I see some claps
Yes,
for
you
you.
do.
to hear it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations. And thank you everyone for your votes. Oops. Man, my computer is just not having it. Okay, so advisor updates. That's me. I know some of you are new here tonight. Hi, I should have introduced myself at the beginning. I'm Sarah Hawkins, she, her, hers. I serve as the coordinator for clubs and organizations on campus, meaning that I support all 400 plus of our clubs, but my primary responsibility is to serve as the advisor for our club sports program. That includes each of your teams and the council. And it's the best thing ever. I love it. I've been working in student affairs and club sports for 15 years and 5 days. I had my 15-year anniversary this past weekend. So I love what I do, and I'm here for you for club sports related stuff, for academic stuff, for professional development, whatever you need. I love to help. Couple of updates. So for COVID-19, I know we all want to know when we're going to be able to start getting back to normal, and things were looking really positive towards the end. I should say negative. They were looking life positive and COVID negative at the end of fall quarter. And we had been in the red tier for quite a while, and the college EOC, or Emergency Operations Center, was starting to create guidelines to start to accept requests for in-person events. And then Halloween happened, and Thanksgiving happened, and Christmas happened. And as we all know, it's everywhere that COVID's really bad right now, and the rate of spread in the community is really high. The positivity test rate is really high. Our ICU beds, because we are included in the Southern California region, are not available. And so we are not only in the back in the purple tier, but we're also under that regional stay-at-home order until our numbers improve drastically as a region. So what does that mean for us? Once we get back into the red tier, the EOC has a plan in place for then accepting requests for exception to the no in-person events policy. So what I translate that to mean is that we won't go back right when we're in red tier to scheduling a full practice schedule. What that will mean is that clubs could apply for permission to have a limited in-person event. Maybe it's to like cycling team was a good example. They had come up with a plan to do their bike repairs in a COVID safe way, and the EOC was considering their request, and then the numbers got really bad. And so that's something that could be considered. Or Ava on our e-board came up with the idea of having like a ice cream drive-through fundraiser or a Krispy Kreme drive-through fundraiser, so we could bring back that Krispy Kreme event that we all love. So something like that might be considered. That's how I interpret what their decision was. But I will, of course, keep you posted. The main thing to do right now is just to stay at home, follow the rules, wear a mask, and help us get back to red tier in the county as quickly as possible. I don't anticipate there being any exceptions to the no travel rule, saying that though, because while the EOC may be able to say that you can have in-person events or not, they cannot override the chancellor's declaration that travel was restricted to June 30th. So that change would have to come from the chancellor's office. And while there has been discussions about, whether club sports should fall into that or not, so far nothing has changed. But I make sure to bring it up every month at my meeting with the representatives from the chancellor's office that, club sports is different. We're not just a regular club. We're not just, a student group that wants to travel to a conference. We have a little bit of oversight of you in the paperwork you fill out. So we want to prove to the chancellor's office that we could do this safe and responsibly, but so far they're not giving us the permission to do that yet. Any questions on that, on COVID, before I move on? I know that's important stuff, but nothing's really changing for now.
Yeah, I have a question. So do you mean like you have to apply to the Cal State Chancellor's office to have an in-person event?
No, just to the Cal Poly EOC, Emergency Operations
Okay.
Center. Any other questions on that? Awesome. I know it's not what we want, especially if any of you are seniors and this was supposed to be your last season on the team. I know that's incredibly disappointing, and my heart really does go out to you. I was listening to a podcast today with these two professional athletes and coaches, and they were saying that they had even recorded this during pre-COVID times because I'm way behind on my podcast, but they were saying that the ages of 24 to 28 are really your athletic peak. So don't worry if it doesn't work out this year. You're still going to have more opportunities. But those of you who are underclassmen, I think hopes are really high that we're going to get back to some semblance of normal in the fall. The CSU is anticipating that we'll be back in person, and while there will probably be a vaccine mandate in order to do so, I think club sports will be able to get back going as well. And I'm really going to be your advocate for that at every opportunity I get, for sure. Facilities updates. So some of you might know that Chumash was offline for that last year that we were on campus. They were doing some renovations. They got pushed back because of COVID, but they're back on track. And so Chumash is expected to reopen 9/1. September 1st. And the reason that's significant is that there were many of you clubs who got pushed out of having practice spaces in the MAC because because of that renovation. So we'll be able to go back to using the MAC for club sports practices and events, and that will then free up some of the availability in the North Gym and the South Gym. So there was kind of a ripple effect that affected a lot of you that use the rec center, and so that's back on track. Also, some of you might know that the rec center has been partially converted to an alternative care site to help deal with COVID overflow, and that they are actually getting it warmed up right now to potentially take it online, but that they are expecting that that will be dismantled and that the rec center will be back to full operations in July. That might still be full restrictions with for full operations with restrictions, but they're saying full operations. In the meantime, they still have the outdoor space. The pool is available to reserve, things like that. Annie touched on our club sports funding earlier. Thank you for that. We're going to be turning in our request for allocation for next year. And it's probably going to be the same allocation request, that $75,000, but we're going to request an additional $500 to that because now, as of tonight, we've added archery as a team that will need to be funded. And so we're just going to ask for that additional baseline $500 to help offset that. But we did tell them at the end of fall quarter that we don't need all the money that they had set aside for us for this year. We can't spend that full $75,000 because of there's no nationals bonuses, there's no travel, there's no in-person events for us to even buy pizza for you for. So we're trying to be very good stewards of our money and say we don't need it all this year, but we do need it next year. we think that they'll look favorably upon us for that. If anyone does want to come to that meeting, the Business and Finance Committee meeting is meeting on Tuesday next week instead of Monday because it's a Monday schedule. And so anyone is welcome to come and listen, or you can speak at open forum if you'd like to kind of advocate for club sports, but it's not necessary. They're not doing anything against us right now. We feel like we're in really good terms with them. But speaking of funding, before I move on to engage, spend your money. I was talking to actually professional staff from ASI yesterday, and I was saying, I'm making sure with clubs right now that my teams know that they have some money this year and they need to spend it. And so if you want to order t-shirts, if you want to order stickers, if you want to order water bottles, whatever you want to do, even if it's for next year, if you want to say, okay, there's going to be a campus showcase next summer, or what we mostly call club showcase, and I want to have stickers to hand out or whatever, there's no reason you can't order it now. And it's going to be there's not a lot of things for us to spend our money on. And so that's a really good use for it. And ASI is advocating that. So I was talking to Surf Team about this week. I was like, yeah, do like a special edition t-shirt that's like Surf Team, we survived quarantine, and you can only get that t-shirt if you're on the team this year to make up for the fact that it sucked, and let ASI pay for it instead of having individuals on the team pay for it. So I'm meeting with each president one-on-one over the next couple of weeks, and the budget conversation will be a really important part of what we're talking about, because I want to make sure that if you have eligible expenses to spend that ASI money on, that you spend it soonish, and that you know what the rules and restrictions are for spending that money. Really quickly, as an example, let's say you do decide to order a bunch of stickers for your team. Someone designs a cool logo for you and you want to get a bunch of stickers to hand out. Let's say that order cost $800. You ordered a crap ton of stickers, so it's $800. Of that $800, 400 of it could come from the ASI funding, and the other 400 could come from your budget, your dues and fundraise money and rollover and all that. So the only rule really is that 50% of your ASI funding can only cover up to 50% of your budget for the year. Christian, let's take your team as an example real quick. They've had a lot of expenses this year already because they pay their coach full time. But coaching expenses are not eligible for ASI funding. However, they pay for a website fee. That's $500, and they have $500 of allocation. They can spend all 500 of that money on the website, because even though ASI money can't be spent on the coach's expenses, it still counts as total budget. So therefore that $500 is way less than 50% of their total budget for the year. Does that kind of make sense? I know that's kind of confusing. If anyone has questions or wants another example, let me know. Basically, my point is find something to spend your ASI money on. And if you want to make sure that it's going to be eligible for ASI money, that you want to make sure that you're going to be able to use as much of it as possible, touch base with me and let me know. We'll work through it together. Excuse me. Okay, last thing for tonight is I've got, actually, here, we'll do this. We'll go for upcoming events and then we'll switch over to Engage, and I'll switch my screen. So mark the calendar, February 11th and March 4th are the 2 remaining Club Sports Council meetings for this quarter, and they're already in Engage, so you can RSVP there already. And the Change the Status Quo Social Justice Leadership Conference is coming up on February 27th. That's a one-day conference where you can attend either just part of the day or all day. We usually have a really powerful keynote speaker, and then we break into small group sessions. Last year's speaker was none other than the one and only Queen herself, Angela Davis, and I got to go and it was amazing. Well, this year it's all going to be virtual, and they haven't even told us who the speaker is going to be because it's someone so good. They say, I really don't know. I'm not like trying to pull one over on you. They say it's someone so good that like their agents are like, you cannot tell anyone that they're coming until the contract is signed. So keep an eye out for that. I'll send it out in the newsletter too. Okay, let's switch over to Engage. Sorry for the technical difficulties here. There we go. Engage is really taking off. More and more students around campus are logging in and joining clubs. In the last 7 days, we've had over 1,000 students join the platform. So it's time, if you haven't already, to start updating your content. Because as you can see, like we're starting to get other clubs posting events in here. There were a couple that were today, so they already left the screen, but they're the system is getting busier and more populated. Christian, do you mind if I use your team just to walk through a couple of really quick things?
Go for it.
Okay, so there's a couple ways to access your team if you want to update it. Only officers will have this ability though. You can either just search for it in the main search menu, or you can also go to this grid and then switch to your manage view. Either way is fine. This is the public view. So this is what people see on your page. And you can embed YouTube videos, you can add pictures, you can add all kinds of stuff. We keep the rosters private, so you have to log in and be a member of the team to see who else is on the team. But the advisor, president, and treasurer, and any other officers that you designate are going to show up, and then the club's bylaws are going to be there as well. If you want to make any changes, you just go to Manage Organization. And from here, from the hamburger menu, that's going to open up all the tools for making changes. If you want to make changes to the roster, if you want to change your homepage, it's on the About section. If you want to create an event, you can add photos, documents. Let's say you want to use your ASI money to do a t-shirt order. You could build a t-shirt order form in here. There's a lot you can do, but I want to go over something specifically on the roster because it's a change from what I told you all in the fall. Originally, I had it set up so that only I could add people to your roster because I had to make sure they filled out a participation agreement first. But I've decided to change that up a little bit and let you guys add whoever you want to the roster. So if anyone is interested and they want to join, they can. So right now, Men's Lacrosse has 7 prospective members. And originally I hadn't approved them because they hadn't done a participation agreement yet. But now you're welcome to go in and approve whoever you want. I'm not going to do all of them, Christian. You can do them if you want to. And then you can go ahead and remove people too from the current tab. What's going to be different is that now they're going to be tagged as having completed a participation agreement by me. So if we go to the next page, we see those 2 players I just added, Ryan Hoffman, Taylor Keller. They can be members of the club. They're just not tagged as having participation agreements. So this way you're able to see who has a participation agreement on file and who doesn't for your team. This will come more into play when we get back to traveling and we want to know who is on the roster, on the official roster, who is traveling, who has a driver form on file. That'll show up as a tag. Who is CPR certified for the team. That'll show up as a tag. So it'll be a really easy way for you all to see who is allowed to do what in your team. And I'm really excited about that. Anyone who's done travel paperwork knows exactly what I'm talking about. So anyone have any questions about Engage or this change in the roster permissions? Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Great. Well, I hope you all will consider starting to put more of your club events into Engage, especially if it's a recruitment event. If you're trying to increase your visibility to more of the campus community, you know, if you're doing an Among Us night, throw that in there. I know women's basketball had their info night in there. And it just looks so cool. And the events also show up on the club's calendar on the clubs.calpoly.edu homepage. They show up in the Cal Poly Now app. So it's a great way to really get the word out. And then once we get back to, you know, normal and you start you're hosting your alumni weekend or you're hosting a home tournament and you want spectators to come and watch, you'll be able to post it in here. And some of the events, depending on how you make the settings, can be publicly visible so that you can send them to your parents and stuff too to get the information. So we're really excited about the system and hope you continue to find use with it. But of course, if you have any questions, let me know. So I want to thank Christian for taking the reins tonight. Ava, Bella, Annie, you all are awesome. And thank you to each of you for coming. If you haven't already, make sure to click that attendance link that was in the chat. I'll drop it in one more time. Oops, helps if I send it to everyone. And I'll stick around if any of you have any questions. If not, you all have a great night.
Thank you.